Johan Liebert. Johan Liebert has the face of an angel, but operates like a walking nightmare. He and his twin sister, Anna, were born from a eugenics expert meant to create a flawless leader. Raised under twisted circumstances right from the start, his childhood was a mess, full of experiments, trauma, and a ton of identity confusion that shaped him into a cold, calculating killer. His mother was forced to choose which twin would be taken away for testing. She handed Johan over, then changed her mind and gave up his sister instead. That moment messed with him deeply. It left him with a constant feeling of abandonment and a fractured sense of self. He spent his early years isolated and observing over a creepy picture book called The Nameless Monster. When Anna escaped and returned to him, he ended up thinking that the abuse his sister went through was something he experienced himself. He held on to those false memories and let them guide everything he did after. They burned down the inn they were living in and ran away with no destination in mind. On their travel, he killed a couple who had shown him and Anna kindness. He didn't even hesitate. He kept moving through life without any real destination, just building up his ability to manipulate people. When he got temporarily separated from Anna and got sent to Kinderheim 511, an experimental orphanage meant to create perfect soldiers, he was already ahead of them. He didn't get brainwashed. He ran the place instead. He pushed the other kids into a violent breakdown while he sat back and watched everything go up in flames. Later, he and Anna were adopted by the Lieberts, but the family didn't last long. He killed them too. Then he made Anna pull the trigger on him to hide the evidence. That got him rushed to a hospital, where Dr. Kenzo Tenma saved his life. He returned the favor by killing 3 higher-ups at the hospital who had been standing in Tenma's way, and then disappeared with Anna again. Over time, he drifted between fake identities, staying with different families and learning everything he needed to manipulate people better. He left his amnesia-stricken sister in the care of the Fortners, telling them that he would return to get her for their 20th birthday. By his teens, he was running an underground money laundering network. He eventually let it fall apart just because he got bored, leaving behind another trail of chaos and dead bodies. When it was time to pick up his sister, who now goes by the name of Nina, he sent her a message requesting they meet at Heidelberg Castle, where he sent 2 corrupt cops to kill the Fortners while Nina was out. Luckily, Dr. Tenma arrives at the castle and escapes with Nina. While he continues his pursuit to retrieve Nina, he later targeted Hans-Georg Schwald, a wealthy man rumored to have a grip on Germany's economy. He worked his way into Schwald's inner circle by wiping out everyone close to him. He wanted to crash the global economy and vanish in the wreckage. When that didn't work, he aimed even higher. In the last part of his plan, he pushed an entire town towards self-destruction. He planted weapons, stirred up fear, and sat back as everything fell apart. All of it just to prove that anyone can be broken, and that there's no real meaning behind anything. Even when people tried to reach him, like Nina or Dr. Tenma, he kept pushing them to the edge. He wanted Tenma to shoot him, not for revenge, but to prove that even the most idealistic person could be corrupted. When that failed, and when Nina offered to forgive him, he shut down completely. Forgiveness was something he couldn't understand or accept. He didn't leave bodies for shock value. He destroyed people mentally to make them question everything about their lives, and leave them with nothing. And he did it all without making a scene. And this is what makes him so disturbing. By the end, he was trying to wipe out every trace of his existence. His past, his family, everything. He even posed as his sister at one point just to track down an old tape that held a piece of his history. Every move was another step towards turning himself into a ghost. After a final showdown where he tried once again to push Tenma into killing him, he got shot by the father of the boy he took as a hostage. Tenma still saved him, but after the surgery, he vanished from his hospital bed. No one knows where he went or if he survived. Johan is considered one of the most evil characters in anime, not just because of how many people he killed, but because of how he did it. He took his trauma and turned it into a weapon. He destroyed people by finding their weakness and ripping them open. And through it all, he kept that calm, unreadable face. He wasn't driven by power or revenge, he just wanted to prove that nothing matters. And that's what makes him so terrifying.